strap down, look in the mirror, think about it, thoughts of a scholar, yeah. We out here, looking for a better way, All of us in this world, renegade, watch the drama unfurl, and we come on, pull up in this world, I gotta get off my feet if I wanna make a living. I gotta get off my feet if I wanna make it. Yeah, I gotta get off my feet to make you see my vision. I'm stand tall on my feet, it's time to make them listen. I hear the voices whisper, and when they speak, I hear them preach on the things that we need to keep us from being victims. Knowledge the key to victim. Read the most slicker and think quicker than the next trying to get richer. Man, I'm just trying to get free. Bang on the system that's raping our sisters, forcing our brothers to hustle. Mixing drugs for the love of the dough. They got us gunning for O's, killing each other, but we loving it though. Some of us act real bad when the Mac is on us. Packed on corners, let me rip my flag to the hardest, but when the deputies back, they playing the ass artists. I don't mess with these facts. I straighten the path. Oh yeah, we out here looking for a better way, better way.
Shout out, YBSTV. Thank y'all for tuning in. How you doing? I'm gonna go by the name A.R.E.S DaVOICE, and you watching Young Black Scholars Television here on BronxNet. Today, we're gonna be talking about the Kearse Act. I have two guests with me, NEWSOME, you'll be hearing from, and Angie Kearse, who's the wife of Andrew Kearse, who was unsuspectedly killed inside the back of a police car on his way to the precinct. What we're going to do today is talk a little bit about the Kearse Act, which is legislation to be passed so that way this doesn't happen again and no other victim can be killed inside the back of a police car. And we're also here to talk about Black Lives Matter of Greater New York and ask some questions that a lot of people have been wondering about just the Black Lives Matter movement and just Black Lives Matter Greater New York as a whole and what they've been doing in New York City for the past year and a half. I want to introduce you my guests. We have NEWSOME, Angie Kearse.
Hello.
How you guys doing? Welcome to the program.
Hello.
Thanks for having us.
Yes. We honored.
So Angie,
Yes.
I can see that you've been on a trek for this past year and a half, dealing with the death of your husband, Andrew Kearse. I just want to ask you, as the wife and the widow, what have you actually been going through this year and a half, and what do you hope to be accomplished from your fight?
First of all, thank you for having me. I'm honored for being your guest and telling, and you being Andrew's voice, as well as the world. This past 19 months been hell, and what I want to accomplish is justice, as well as I want to change legislation on nobody suffering the way he died. And if he could help one person, then he lives through others.
Now, for those of you who don't seem to have not heard the story of Andrew Kearse, I believe, was he 36?
Yes, 36 years old.
36-year-old at a traffic stop in Schenectady, New York. He was pulled over. He ran from the police, and after running from the police, he was caught, apprehended, but shortly after being apprehended, he could not breathe. He started becoming dizzy and started telling the police officers that he could not breathe. The police pretty much didn't do anything, and he winded up dying in the car. We have NEWSOME with Black Lives Matter Greater New York, who's been helping Angie with the case. And, well, thank you for joining us. And my brother, this is a problem that's been going on within New York City that for at least, as far as I can remember, just with police brutality as a whole. We had Eric Garner, I Can't Breathe, where she was in a chokehold, a legal chokehold. And now this seems to be the new I Can't Breathe, which is not even a chokehold, but it seems as if like the police were just completely negligent. You being Black Lives Matter president, how did you come to start helping Angie, and what do you hope to get done with helping Angie passing this Andrew Kearse Act?
Thanks for having us, A.R.E.S. This is so dope. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
You got your show now.
Thank you, bro.
Right on.
Appreciate
You're talking
that.
about people
Definitely
here in the
do.
Bronx,
Yes, sir.
because they need to be educated. Our folks need to know what's really going on, and I don't think there's a better person out there who's not compromised, who's not bought off by these politicians, who's just really out there speaking for the people, like you are. So I thank you for having this show
appreciate
and
that.
for inviting me on
Appreciate
here.
that.
Right now, police are killing black people. Police are killing Latinos, and nothing is happening. You take Eric Garner, he screamed, "I can't breathe," 11 times. Cops ignored him. He died. Andrew Kearse said, "I can't breathe," or "Officer, help me," 70 times in 17 minutes, and a cop ignored him and taunted him, and he died. I was out in Australia earlier this year. A man named David Dungay said, "I can't breathe," 11 times. He died.
Wow.
So this isn't just a problem here, this is a problem across the world. And what it looks like is police killing us, killing people with skins that look like ours, and politicians not necessarily taking up for us, right? So what did we do? We kept pushing march after march.
Hold on, now when you say politicians not necessarily sticking up for us, what in terms do you mean not sticking up for us? In what way?
Okay, so this is your show, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna speak from my heart.
Hey, it's YBS. Make sure we don't BS. YBS is the question and it's the answer. Just to let y'all know.
So you take New York City. You look, we have Mayor de Blasio. What has he done about the Eric Garner case? Nothing. That cop still has a job, bro. Like, the cop who killed Eric Garner still has a job in a democratic, progressive state. And these are people that we vote for. And you look on Christmas or Thanksgiving, he's hanging out with Al Sharpton serving turkeys, right? He's hanging out with this group, that group, but he's not giving them justice. He's just giving them smiles and FaceTime. Like, what we need is these politicians to really work for us. And this is why we push so hard on the Andrew Kearse Act. It's been long, it's been hard, it's been heartbreaking and heart-wrenching, but we finally got to a place where a politician, Natalia Fernandez, from the Bronx, said, "I'm gonna step up, and this needs to be a law." We have Michael Blake, also from the Bronx, who's stepping up and helping out. So these are really, these are times where we're forcing politicians to step up and do what they need to do to help us.
Shout out to the Bronx, man. Shout out to the Bronx. Come on, man. I got love our Bronx politicians. Shout out to Michael Blake. Angie, back to you. What gave you the strength to start fighting? I have to, because I've watched you. I need to know, and the viewer needs to know, what is it that gave you the strength to fight as hard as you fight?
It's my duty to fight for my husband. It's my duty to win. So when he died, I knew something was wrong. It didn't click with me. So I said, no, I have to. He is not going to be another black man just dead from the police.
Now, for our viewers at home, this may be a little bit graphic, and we have to warn you. We have a 2-minute clip of some of the last moments of Andrew Kearse, and it's a little graphic, but we have to show you the real face of America and the things that we're dealing with. So if we can cue to the video, yeah, we'll see.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. What?
1641.
Breathe. Yes, you can. Sir. Please open the window a little bit. Please.
What's wrong?
Is
it hot? Probably shouldn't run next time.
Officer. Officer. Officer.
What?
I was...
You think this might have to do with you running from the
Please
police?
open the window, please.
I'm not opening the window.
Please. Officer, please. Please, I'm begging you, man.
1641.
Officer, please. I'm getting numb. Officer, I'm getting numb. Officer, kid.
15, go ahead.
15 subject medical staff to River Street, failed, I think.
Yeah, there's 2 sets of the CPR in progress.
Yeah. Yeah. This is real life that we're dealing with. This is a life that's gone, and as you see, I'm still a little bit taken by it. Angie, I commend your strength.
Thank you.
I commend your strength because we know that you have not stopped fighting for Andrew, and this is the reason why I wanted to bring Andrew's story to light, because people need to see the face, and they need to see the strength behind the face. They need to know what's going on, and this is the reason why. This is the reason why they're trying to pass Andrew's act, because as you've seen, he consistently, persistently, and consistently asked the officers for help and was even mocked, and didn't receive any kind of medical attention until they got to the precinct. By that time, it was pretty much too late. There was a march that we had not too long ago, pretty much last week, a Black Lives Matter Greater New York march. It is a youth march. And they actually pretty much marched the kids to down Harlem, all the way down to the Museum of Natural History. And they was trying to get this act passed. And Hawk, you pretty much kind of spearheaded and put that together. Angie, you went down to the schools.
Yes.
Can you tell me what the effort took in order to put this march together for Andrew?
Sure. The most important element in putting together a movement or a campaign to get justice for someone is having community involved, right? Mm-hmm. So you have Angie who was there, you have Andrew's mother who was there, you have his sisters who were there, you have other people from the community who cared about him, but in addition, you have these children. Mm-hmm. So you go into the school and you just kind of reach into these kids' beings in a way, like, hey, how do you feel? This is raw emotion. This is your experience with policing in your communities. How do you feel about that? Then you come to them with solutions and a plan to move forward. And then Angie came into the school on another day to really talk to them, to solidify it, to bring it home. But for us, this is about raising awareness. Like, you know, right now I'm the chairperson of Black Lives Matter Greater New York. I got to get used to saying I'm not the president anymore. Nepal Kiazola is our president. And what it takes is getting the message out, getting the driving that message home to get people on the same page. Because marching, like, I march for a purpose. I'm not just gonna march every Monday like a fool just to run around the city, like, just because I feel like marching. That's not what I'm here to do. If I'm marching, I have a particular purpose.
Marching
I'm trying to
with a
raise
cause.
Yeah.
issue. Newsweek, New York One, CBS, and a couple of other, Harlem World Magazine, a couple of other notable media sources blasted the information to that act out, right? Awesome. So what does the act say? The act pretty much says anytime, the Andrew Kearse Act says that anytime a person is in police custody, whether it's in correctional facility or they're just detained on the street and they look like they need help, or they say they can't breathe, the cops have to call an ambulance. It's common decency. If somebody says, hey, I can't breathe, I feel bad, call an ambulance.
Now, honestly, being that police are here to serve and protect, doesn't that seem to be something that's not too much to ask? That if you're in the custody of said police to protect and serve, that you should be at least able to make it, whether you're a criminal or not, you should at least be able to make it to the precinct. We know that this has not been the first case, and probably, unfortunately, won't be the last case where somebody has been arrested and has not made it to the precinct. However, they're obviously hoping that this Andrews Act, this Andrew Kearse Act, can be legislation that's passed in New York City and hopefully within the nation.
Yes.
Because I mean, who doesn't want medical attention? Who doesn't feel that a person needs medical attention? I think this act. I mean, wow! I love this act.
And this is what's important because these, a lot of these racist cops will kill us and get away with it unless we have some protections. Let's be very clear about this white supremacist system that we live in that keeps us all oppressed: blacks, women, Latinx, Jews, you name it. Gay people, everybody is being oppressed by this same system. And the cops are the enforcers of this system.
Wow.
So until we change the laws by which the cops play, we can have no hope for, I guess, anything that resembles freedom.
Yes, and this law will hold the cops accountable. They will get a Fed charge on it. You know what I'm saying? So it's so important for it to pass.
So this law will bring federal charges upon police officers?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So
Wow.
they will have to, they can't think that they're joking. Because in Andrew's case, Officer Mark Weeks thought he was joking. He stated that if that he was trained that if they're talking, they're breathing.
No, I don't think,
I don't
think he thought he was joking.
Yeah.
I thought it was like, you can't breathe, that's on you.
Yeah.
You heard what he said?
Yeah, and
if
he
you
also-
want to breathe, you shouldn't be able to run from the cops.
Yeah.
I don't believe in any part of my being that I believe that he thought Andrew was joking.
He also, when Andrew was already gone, Andrew died 1 minute before he got to the police station. It took 6 minutes for Mark Weeks to perform CPR. As if everybody sees the dash cam, you see all the other officers coming out, and you see them drinking coffee, laughing, and he states to one of the officers, he says, on the way he was doing that I can't breathe thing. What you mean I can't breathe thing? It's not a joke.
Talking about referring to Eric Garner.
Yes, and we also, when we marched, we had Glenn Carl, Eric Garner's mom. She's in excuse me. She's in excuse me. I hate when I stutter.
Take your time.
She's in support of this act as well.
Okay.
So, and it's eerie because like Hawk Newsome said, Eric Garner and Andrew stated that they couldn't breathe 11 times. Eric Garner and Andrew had a cardiac arrest, and both Eric Garner and Andrew had no indictments. When is it gonna stop?
Well, one of the keys to hoping that it stops and trying to get it to stop is marching. Like he said, marching with a purpose. We have a clip from the week's past march that's going to show some activism in action. So let's cue the clip of the march, and this is a little bit happier times. Hopefully this will bring a little bit of smiles. Let's bring some positive energy.
Okay.
My brothers in the struggle singing, I can't breathe. My sisters in the struggle singing, I can't breathe. We caught up in the violence of these racist police, and we ain't gonna stop till our people are free. And
People like pigs like that.
to jail,
To jail.
cause we tired of dying.
We tired of dying.
We tired of families crying.
We tired of families crying.
We sick and tired
We sick and tired
of marching.
of marching.
We've been marching for 6 years.
We've been marching for 6 years.
We've been marching for 4 centuries.
We've been marching for 4 centuries.
And what we saying now
And what we saying now
is we gonna break those chains. We gonna break those chains.
They'll say let's just shoot them. But we just want self-protection because they keep on murdering us.
Bring the
That's
banner
right.
back here. Everybody else.
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter!
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 Oh wow.
Woo. Now that is motivating. You know what I'm saying? That is motivating. Oh man.
Yeah.
Black Power.
Black Power.
Every hour, man. Oh man, that just made my soul feel a little cleansed right now. You know, you go from the positivity to the negativity. You know, black and white, yin and yang. I'm a Libra. I love to bring the balance. So
So is Andrew.
now, with that being said, right, we see Black Lives Matter. We have some questions that people wanted to know about Black Lives Matter, right? So, being that we have the former president, now he relinquished duty because Paul Kearzolu has stepped up to the reins.
Right on.
But this man, I mean, we're going to pick his brain right now. What is Black Lives Matter?
Black Lives Matter is a resistance focused on black liberation. Black Lives Matter, Greater New York is not part of the official global network. We are, I guess what you would call renegades. We adhere to those principles, but we go off and we do our same things. One of the reasons that we were different from the Black Lives Matter Global Network is that movement was started to give gay people and women leadership roles in the movement. And I'm not gay, and I'm not by far a woman, so I didn't fit those roles, so they had like a problem with that. I don't knock anybody, you know, people do what they do, but we saw that Black Lives Matter was missing in New York City, and we came in and we introduced it to the city, and we started making stuff happen.
Hold up, wait, so 1 second, hold on. So,
Yeah.
so you were telling me, right? Okay, so there's BLM Global, there's a global BLM,
Yeah.
Yes.
which has a strong media presence, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of people obviously don't understand that there's separate entities that are not of the global network, or they're different Black Lives Matter networks.
Yeah, there's a lot of Black Lives Matter groups that are in states really keeping this movement alive that aren't part of the global network, right? So the Black Lives Matter Global Network their organization has about 32 chapters left now. They lost about 4 chapters in the last year. But yeah, so it's not succinct. It's not all held together by any means. It's just a bunch of people in a bunch of different areas really trying to do their thing.
Okay, so you probably
fight
know
for
I was going
liberation.
with this then.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people seem to bring up a name, George Soros. Like they talking about George Soros globally funded and all this stuff. So you're saying that this is not the global, this is separate from what everybody,
Yeah.
so there are different sects basically.
Okay, so is there a possibility that George Soros gave money to the originators of Black Lives Matter? There's a possibility. I don't know either way, yes. I don't know either way, no. All I know is all the money that I get is from PayPal. It's from selling these sweatshirts. Angie don't give me no money. These families don't give me no money. The lawyers don't give me no money. It's all my friends from law school, people from the Bronx. I be walking down the street, an old lady put $100 in my hand. Real stuff
Real
like that.
grassroots.
Like real grassroots, you know what I mean?
Okay.
People who want to help us get to where we need to be. And if there was some Soros money, I don't know, I might take it. We out here doing everything we can with nothing. Like for real.
We're
It's
giving
not,
our money away.
it's not
We're
where
giving
you,
our money away to the revolution for them to use it. Hey, I take it too. That's
it's
the
not
case.
where you get it from, it's what you do with it,
Hey,
right?
man, I love the way that sounded.
You said that to me.
Yeah, hey, I love the way that sounds. You know that. Listen, man, you know how I feel. Now, I have a question on intersectionality within just within the activist movement. Anyway, I don't know if you're not aware of intersectionality, it's pretty much when there are different sects of people who will come together, but they're all different. Like I could be a black activist and somebody else could be an activist on the same terms, and we're coming together. So sometimes intersectionality can it be a detriment to the movement, or
Yeah.
can it be? Oh wow, you already answered that. Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
No, intersectionality is dope, right? Like, yeah, let's all come together and fight. However, people get what they need and leave black people behind.
Wow.
You know? Like you look at all these different movements. I forgot what I was watching. Oh my God. And when Frederick Douglass was fighting for the right to vote to black people, Susan B. Anthony told him that he should chill out and wait for women to get their rights first. You look at all of these movements, you look at the women's movement, they marching on Washington, D.C., and racism is like an afterthought. You got a couple of sisters who are there who really be like, yo, racism is what it is. But all these people, like, they fight, and then it's like black lives are an afterthought. It's like the immigrant fight, immigration. people talk about immigration, they talk about the border, they talk about Latinx people coming, but when do they talk about 4 of the 7 countries on that list of countries that Donald Trump banned being African?
Yeah.
Where's the African faces of this immigration movement? That's why I'm thankful for Patricia Okomo, Miss Lady Liberty, who climbed the Statue of Liberty. Because in a lot of these movements, they come out here and they fight, but they only mention black people when it's convenient, and that's foul. And we jump from topic to topic without really addressing the problem. Wow. So intersectionality is cool, but I'm out here fighting for black people, and you ain't gonna convince me or sway me to go in another direction.
Wow, that's a hell of a powerful answer. It's a hell of a powerful answer. With that being said, right, a lot of people have problems with Christians and being pro-black, but me, listen, everything is a weapon, everything's a tool. Joe Dash said, it is said that the concepts of Islam and Christianity, both ideologies came out of Egypt. If Christian zealots, faith with no action is void. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you can be a Christian in the movement, but if you're not doing anything, what does it matter? You cannot be a Christian, and if you're not doing anything in the movement, then it doesn't really matter. But if you're going to be a Christian, faith without action is void. I mean, you got to get to work. Some of y'all churches, y'all got to get to work. I want to lead this closing and by leaving with Isaiah 1:17, because I do believe that it ties into everything that we're talking about. It ties into activism. It ties into ANGIE, Kearse. It ties into people standing up. Isaiah 1:17. Learn to do good, seek justice, rescue the oppressed, defend the orphan, and plead for the widow.
Wow.
What more can I say? You know what I'm saying? It's Y.B.S, Young Black Scholar TV. And I hope that y'all join us here, man. Again, this has been fun. I want to thank Hawk. I want to thank Angie for coming out. And we're closing. Yeah. Thanks, man. First show, we wrapping it up, man. Black Power.
Think about it, thoughts of a scholar. Yeah, come on, we out here. Looking for a better way, better way. This world rage is renegade. Watch the drama unfurl, rain and we come on, pull up in this world with this. I gotta get off my feet if I wanna make a living. I gotta get off my feet if I wanna make it here. I gotta get off my feet to make y'all see my head. I'm standing tall on my feet, it's time to make them listen. I hear the voices whisper, and when they speak, I hear them preach on the thing that we need to keep us from being victims. Knowledge the key to victory. Why the white man got a strap